Hello, welcome back to Stadium Stories. I'm Christy Lear, Manager of Athletic Communications here on the campus of St. Leo University. And with me today is St. Leo beach volleyball / indoor volleyball for a little bit there is Nina Vattovaz.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for you to share a little bit about your story because it's a really neat journey. You grew up in Italy, you helped found and build the beach volleyball program here, and now you're in grad school, but also a graduate assistant in residence life.
Yeah.
So pretty exciting stuff. We're excited we have you for another year around, and I was wondering if you could start us off by talking a little bit about what Italy was like and your upbringing.
So I started playing volleyball when I was 7 years old. It was just like it was not in the family, but it was like the closest club team that we had besides soccer. Yeah, I grew up like in this really small village called Santa Croce, which is near Trieste, which is near Venice. Usually that's where people get me.
Near Venice.
But yeah. I started playing when I was 7 with my twin, as I said before. And then when I was 15, I actually got the opportunity to move away from home and go play in a different city, in a better league. And then I stayed for 4 years. I actually got so many satisfaction by like leaving home. It was really tough, but like it was really nice because I competed on a national level, and then we got third in the nation when I was 18. Really, really nice. And then when I was 19 and I graduated for high school, I was kind of a little clueless. I was like, I don't really know what I want to do with my life. I was like, maybe I want to be an architect. And then I just decided to come to St. Leo, which is this kind of like a weird story how I ended up here, but it was definitely a great decision as I'm here 6 years after.
Could you fill us in on that weird story?
So basically, I talked with a coach that I had in Italy, and I was like, yeah, maybe I want to go like study abroad and play abroad for like 1 year. And then a couple of months after, this guy that he knew texted me and was like, hey, like, are you interested in going to the United States? We have this this coach that need some new players at St. Leo University. So then I started video chatting with the coach. I talked with the team. Everyone was really nice. I didn't really know English, so it was a little weird, but it was definitely a great experience. And then the coach came to Italy, actually. He saw me practicing, and then he was like, oh, we want you there. Do you want to come? And I graduated July 10th of 2016, and I was here on August 5th.
Wow.
And everything went just like so fast, and then I was like, oh my God, I mean, I'm into this. And I was like, this is crazy. And volleyball is a little different, the culture is a little different, so definitely there was a little bit of culture shock. But I'm still here, and it was definitely a great journey to come here and to stay here. We had a lot of coaches, and I feel like everyone just made me grow so much as a person and not only as a volleyball and beach volleyball player.
Right. And what a transition, because probably the first time you've lived away from your twin sister, your brothers also play volleyball, like, and then you had great success. So you figured something out with, I'm guessing, video chatting with family a lot.
It was weird because I lived away from home already. It was like 3.5 hours by car. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be so easy. Like, I was already away, but then I went home every 2 weeks, and it was just like a 5-hour train ride. So it was really like easy and not that expensive, but you gotta think that now the plane ticket is really expensive. Like when COVID hit, I actually didn't go home for 2 years, and I didn't see my family for 2 years, which was really hard. But I found like my support system here. I have my boyfriend family is actually like my American family, I will call them, and they always host me, and I was with them for a while during COVID. So I definitely found my support system here, and they helped me. Like, I have a lot of like families away from my family. I have a lot of my teammates' parents are like my American parents as well. It's really funny. So it's cool. It's like nice to like know that people care about you, also if you're like not their family.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's kind of how it should be.
Yeah.
Well, coach was right. You're a tremendous player. He wanted you here. You got here, and first year you were here, your freshman year, you were just an indoor player.
Yeah.
And then you helped start the first beach volleyball season at St. Leo and transitioned to being a dual athlete, two-sport athlete, and really took the number 1, number 2 spots at beach volleyball pretty quickly, and kind of gave us a nice high standard to aim for. You want to tell us about how the program is growing and where it's going?
Yeah, so it's actually like really funny because the first year we were all indoor players. We had a little bit of background in beach, but no one was just a beach volleyball player. So I remember the first day we practiced, we like came out here, we like laid down the lines, and we were a little clueless. It was just really funny. And we had like a really, it was like only 10 people on the team, so everyone was playing. There was a couple of grad students that like came back from graduating from indoor undergrad. We had a couple like seniors that had a lot of internships, so it was just like we were never all at practice. It was just a little funky, but we actually had a really good season, and it was such a lot of learning. And I remember the last day of practice that year, I was like, I wish we filmed our first practice because I feel like there was such a big improvement, and it's crazy how much we grew. But every year we had different ways of improving. We started getting more and more student athletes. They were only beach volleyball players. So the program grew. It's still like a really new program, so we don't have crazy scholarships. So it's definitely harder for coaches to like recruit. But we definitely have really, really good players and really, really good coaches that their main goal is to just like make the program grow so much that then we're already competing against D1's team, and I hope one day we'll be able to beat all of these big D1 names, because it's definitely a great satisfaction, but it's just improving and improving so much. I wish you could see a video of like our first practice and a video of like a practice that we have right now, because there's a huge difference, and it's crazy how much the program has grown in just 5 years.
Yeah. Well, on the athletic communication side of thing, we're like, what is this sport? And they play music the whole time? Like, that's so different than all the other sports. So it's been cool to also get to know the team and the sport simultaneously.
I remember the first time we had a tournament here. We hosted the first tournament ever, and they cut the music as we started playing, and the coach was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The music should be on the whole time.
The more you know, there you go. Well, I was wondering if you could share a little bit about any of your favorite memories you have. You still have another year with the COVID year to compete this year, but you've been here for a while, and what are some of the memories that you know are that kind of contributed to having all these multiple families away from home?
Well, definitely I had a lot of like really big like indoor moments. Like we went to the Elite 8 my senior year, but for the beach, I think just seeing people improving is like my best memory, because last year we actually made it for the first time to the gold bracket at the national championship, which was a great satisfaction, and we were head to head with teams that like won the national championship, or some of our pairs actually won games against people that were all American. So it was definitely a great satisfaction. I would say personally my favorite memory as me and my partner was last year. We actually won against Spring Hill College. The two girls that we played against won All-American at the end of the tournament, and we won against them, and it was like, I feel like the best game I've ever played in my life. I don't know if it was just because it was just like I had such a lot of adrenaline, but it was just like such a great game that we played, and it was just really nice to like feel that chemistry with my partner. And then with the team, we had a lot of satisfaction, like just winning like one game maybe against like really good D1 teams like Stetson or like FIU. It was just amazing, because you're like, we're really like so close to these big D1 teams. So I don't really have one precise memory, but I have a lot.
You remember that feeling?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Those mile markers of like, oh, we are actually getting really good.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. Well, before I let you go, I know you're busy, and you can talk a little bit about how busy with everything you juggle, but as a really successful international student athlete, what advice would you give to any student athlete, but especially an international one, of how to do well at a school in the States, and how you've done so well here at St. Leo to the point that you're part of the, helping campus and working there and knowing people everywhere?
a lot of times we like think that like, oh, we're student athletes, like we have a lot to do, but just like volunteering or like maybe getting a job on campus is definitely can help succeed in the classroom and on the court. It definitely helps you with like time management. It helps you just feeling like, I feel like just being an athlete, you always have to be on time. So already for that employer, that's going to be something really good about you, and you have like really good leadership skills. But adding a job then shows that you can juggle multiple things at the same time, especially when you're a good student. And I know that all our athletes are really good students. So I really think that just getting involved, like I was a resident assistant during undergrad. I know a lot of other athletes that are resident assistant, and they are always the most involved on campus. Like you see them everywhere. It's so funny. And then also just working in the cafeteria or like in the library, anywhere will just help you not only being a good athlete, but being a good person. And I think that's what all coaches want and that's one thing that I like about college athletics in the United States. That like coaches are not here to like build an athlete, but they're here to build a good person. Like they're really happy when people graduate and then maybe they could go play overseas, but they get like a really good job here and they're like, oh, I just want to start my career. So I think that's definitely something that I really admire of this kind of education system and the student athlete world.
I know it's a mouthful, but what exactly was your undergrad in and what you're studying now?
So I did my undergrad in computer information system and I minored in economics, and then right now I'm doing a master in business administration with a concentration in data analytics. Sounds a lot really fancy. It's a lot of Excel. It's just a lot of Excel. That's all I have to say. Wow. But it just sounds really fancy.
Yeah, it does. It really does. So I'm excited for where your career lands you and as you develop. But first, another season of beach volleyball that we're excited about. Well, thank you for fitting us in your schedule. And, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Stadium Stories here at St. Leo University. And until next week, as always, go Lions.